Hey everyone, and welcome back, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Bank of America Unlimited Cash Rewards credit card. So I'm going to be going over the main features of the card, the pros, as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video you should have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. Now, before I go ahead and dive into the main features of this card, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Also, if you would like to receive a few free stocks in the description box below, as well as in a pinned comment, I will be leaving a couple of different links where you can receive just that. Okay, so diving right into the main features of this card, first off, there is going to be a $200 spend bonus as long as you're able to spend at least $1,000 within the first 90 days from your account opening. This is probably not going to be that difficult to achieve for most people. Again, a $200 spend bonus, that is certainly a pretty good thing about this credit card. In addition to that, on all of your transactions, on all purchases across the board, it doesn't matter which category they're in, you're going to be earning 1.5% cash back. So essentially what this means is for every $100 that you spend, you're going to be receiving $1.50 in cash back, which certainly is right about average. It's not great, but it's certainly not terrible either. Now, you're also going to get all this without having to pay no annual fee whatsoever, so you don't have to sit around and think whether or not paying some type of annual fee is worth it with the benefits that you're getting back, because with this card there is no annual fee, so there is certainly nothing to lose. Now, in addition to the 1.5% in cash back that you can receive with this credit card across the board, you can actually potentially earn even more cash back with Bank of America's Preferred Rewards program, anywhere between 25 to 75% more in cash back on every purchase. So pretty much how this works is they do have different tiers depending on how much money you have in a Bank of America checkings, savings, or a Merrill Lynch investing account. So these different categories include a gold tier, a platinum tier, a platinum honors tier, and a diamond tier. So in the gold tier, that is between $20,000 to $50,000 in all categories with Bank of America. That is your 3-month combined average daily balance. And if you have that amount, that is going to equal out to 25% more in cash back, which is going to be 1.87% cash back, as opposed to just 1.5% cash back. Their next category is the platinum tier. That is between $50,000 and $100,000 for your 3-month combined average daily balance. And if you're in that category, you're going to be earning 2.25% cash back. That is going to be 50% more. And then finally, if you're in the platinum honors tier or the diamond tier, which is going to be $100,000 or more, you're actually going to be receiving 75% more in cash back, or 2.62% cash back on every single purchase, which all in all, compared to all other credit cards in the market, receiving 2.62% cash back would be extremely good. Now, another one of the really great features about this credit card is that for the first 18 months on both purchases and balance transfers, you are going to have a 0% intro APR. This means that if you have a lot of larger purchases coming up that you want to put on this credit card, but you don't have the money in your bank account right now to pay that off in full within, let's say, like the first 30 days, you can put that purchase on this card and then slowly pay it off over the next 18 months. Now, I would definitely say not to build up too big of a balance on this card, because after the first 18 months are up, of course, you are going to have to start paying interest, so I would make sure to pay that balance down as soon as possible. And this is certainly not financial advice, but that option is always going to be there. And then with the balance transfer, of course, if you currently have another credit card where you're paying a large amount of interest on every single month because you have a balance that you're carrying from month to month, and you have interest on that, you could always transfer the balance from that card over to this card. And once again, for the first 18 months with that balance transfer, you would be paying a 0% intro APR. Now, there are going to be some fees associated with this balance transfer, which I will be going over in just a moment. Okay, so before we dive into the fees that the Bank of America Unlimited Cash Rewards credit card has, we're first going to take a look at the APR. So like I mentioned, over the first 18 months, you're going to have a 0% intro APR. However, after those 18 months are up, that is going to be jumped up to 17.99 to 27.99%, of course, based on your credit worthiness. And then if you happen to take out a cash advance, which on this channel we recommend to stay far, far away from, of course, on those you are going to have an APR of 20.99 to 29 0.99%. Now, as I mentioned just a moment ago, if you happen to do a balance transfer for the first 18 months on that, you are going to have a 0% intro APR. However, there are some fees associated with that. So for example, with this card, you are going to have a fee of 3% of the amount of each transaction. And then of course, on cash advances, in addition to the APR that you're going to have on that balance for your cash advance, there's also going to be a fee of that of 3% of the amount of each transaction. Also, if you happen to travel abroad, this unfortunately is a credit card you'll probably want to leave back at home because yes, there is a foreign transaction fee of 3%. Instead, you might opt to have a Capital One credit card instead because Capital One does not have any type of foreign fees with their credit card. Now, some other fees that this credit card has is a late payment fee that is going to be up to $40. Now, if you happen to pay late maybe once or twice, you could always try calling into Bank of America. It's always possible that they might waive that fee as a one-time forgiveness type of thing. But then after that, I would definitely make sure to pay on time. I actually just pay in time in general, but if there's one time where you happen to pay late, I would definitely try to at least call Bank of America. There's nothing guaranteed here, but at least if you try and they do waive the fee, you are going to be saving yourself around $40. And as I mentioned before, with this credit card, there is not going to be an annual fee, which is super great because we don't have to sit around and analyze whether or not the benefits that we're receiving with this credit card make up for the annual fee that we're paying because there is no annual fee. Okay, so now that we went over the main features of this credit card as well as the APR and fees, we're now going to go ahead and dive into what I would consider to be the biggest pros and drawbacks of this credit card. So we're going to start out with the good things. The first good thing I would have to say is simplicity. If you value simplicity, this is definitely the credit card for you. You're going to be earning 1.5% cash back on all transactions. There's no caps. There's no expiration date for your rewards. You can redeem them whenever. So this card definitely has simplicity. Now, other than that, the other really great thing about this credit card is once again, for the first 18 months on purchases and balance transfers, you are going to have the 0% intro APR. So you'll definitely have that going for you as well. So those are the two greatest things about this credit card. Now we're going to look into the drawbacks. So the first drawback, in my opinion, is the fact that if you do happen to travel abroad, you are going to be hit with a 3% foreign transaction fee if you do happen to use this card. So this is probably a card you won't want to use abroad. And like I said, you might want to consider having a Capital One credit card because with Capital One, they do not charge any type of foreign transaction fees. Also, another drawback of this credit card is the fact that you're only going to be earning 1.5% cash back. So even though it is very simplistic and easy to use and easy to remember how the reward system works, 1.5% cash back isn't really the greatest. You can actually earn 2% cash back or even more with other credit cards. So for example, with the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card, you can also earn the $200 spend bonus. And with that one, you only have to spend $500 within the first 90 days. And with that one, you're actually going to be earning 2% cash back on all transactions. So that card might actually beat this one. But again, if you do favor simplicity and maybe you already have a Bank of America account, this card might be the best one for you. But just to sum things up here, once again, if you value simplicity and you think you might take advantage of that 18-month 0% APR promo on purchases or balance transfers, this might be the best card for you. But again, with any credit card that I review on this channel, definitely make sure to do your own research before applying, read the fine print, and all of that. But that's all we have for today's review. I certainly hope that you enjoyed. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.